Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. Gotten a lot of questions here, especially in the last month, asking me for recommendations on cold weather gear. What's it take to get out there in the cold? Hang tight, I'll talk to you a little bit about that. All right, guys, welcome back. Right now, here it is minus 4 degrees with a wind chill of minus 22. Yeah, burr. I've been out, and I was out comfortably. My nose was running all over the place. I think I'm coming down with a cold, but I stayed warm. My whole body was warm from my feet to the top of my head. And it's not a secret, it's science. Living in the day and age that we do right now, we've got a lot of products available to us. So the first thing that I'll mention is layering, and I just want to get that out of the way because almost everybody now understands the importance of layering your different garments. When you do that, you're creating an air barrier between you and the cold. Then the more layers you have, and the more air barrier you have, more insulation. You're giving your gear the ability to be able to keep you warm. Okay, so now let's focus in more on the direct question that you had. So for me, when I'm going to go out into what I consider to be, it doesn't have to be extreme cold, but today, this is extreme cold here. It's been this way. It's going to be this way for the next probably 2 weeks here from what the weather has told us. So when I go out, I'm going to make sure, starting with my base layers. For me, today when I was out, my base layer here is right here. This is my base layer. It is a Merino wool expedition layer, top and bottom, from minus 33. I'm not doing a commercial for minus 33. I'm just telling you that over the years of all the Merino wool products I've used, minus 33 has shown me that they have the best products out there. They're very, very consistent in the product that they offer, and their customer service is top notch. Now, what is a expedition weight? Well, Merino wool comes in a variety of different weights, and almost every company has their own nomenclature for the type of product that they're going to sell you that reflects the weight that they sell. Expedition weight is the heaviest weight of Merino wool that minus 33 offers. And for me, I don't always go with what a website says or a company that is wanting us to review their equipment sends out their press release for us to look at. It's interesting to see that, but really where the rubber meets the road is how it works on us. How does it affect me when I have it on? And I can tell you this, that the Merino wool expedition weight from minus 33, I have been down. Today it was minus 4. It's balmy compared to the minus 20 that I've been down in this. It kept me very, very warm with other layers on there. So first and foremost, my base layer is going to be a Merino wool, and if it's very cold outside, it's going to be the expedition weight. I have on Merino wool socks today from minus 33, also the expedition weight, and my feet stayed completely warm, even when I am sedentary, like sitting in a hunt stand on the ground. I hunt off the ground. I don't get in a deer stand. I could sit for probably 3 or 4 hours, and my feet are not going to get cold. Now, sometimes I do wear a very insulated boot, but most of the time I wear just a regular muck boot that is non-insulated, and my feet stay warm. Sometimes I have to double up on a little bit lighter weight Merino wool sock underneath the expedition weight, and you want it to be a little bit loose. You want your boot to be a little bit loose in order to provide that air barrier around your foot, especially in the toe box area right there. So base layer is Merino wool, whether it is my feet, my bottom, or my top. And of course, I have this Merino wool cap that you see a lot. I wear this cap a lot. I've got a few of these, and this also is from -33. So it sounds like I'm a great big fan of them. I am. They've proven that they're the top notch for me. So let's talk about a secondary layer. And what you're seeing here is also a merino wool zip up long sleeve shirt that I consider to be a midweight. It's not even an extremely cold weight, but it, coupled with the base layer that I have on underneath, keeps me very, very warm, down to probably about 20 degrees. Maybe even lower than that. But I've been out working just like you're seeing, the way I am right now, about 20 degrees, chopping wood, playing around outside, doing whatever. Whether it might just be cleaning up the yard. But I put on that base layer you saw with this, and I'm staying warm. Now, when you're talking about the temperatures getting down around the 0 area, you need to have a third layer, a tertiary layer. And instead of putting on another fixed type of garment, what I like to do is put on a tertiary garment that is a shell style. And what I have grown to love is this guy right here. It looks like it's a pillow. Actually, this is a jacket. And this is the Loftec Jacket from Outdoor Vitals. Now, it's zipped up right now. It's its own carrying sack. You can see that. It's got its own carrying sack. And what that actually is the pocket. So this is pretty cool here. It comes out of that pocket, and there that dude is right there. The Loftec synthetic jacket. This is a siliconized hollow fiber synthetic insulation that they use. And as you see, Outdoor Vitals always uses baffles in their different stuff. The first thing that we saw from them was a sleeping bag. Right now we've got canvas bags hung up behind us, but for a long time we had sleeping bags, and they had 2 of their bags that was up there. And one of the bags that they sent us was a synthetic bag. And what impressed me about the bag was the fact that not only did it keep us warm when we were got in it wet, and it dried us out, and the bag dried out, but the insulation didn't migrate because of the baffling system that Outdoor Vitals has come up with. They use the same thing in this ultra light jacket. When I say ultra light, I mean this thing weighs just ounces, and yet it puts out a performance that is super duper. Now listen, I'm going to put this jacket on, and I will zip it up, and I'll start to talk to you a little bit about it. But when you go to buy one of these, keep in mind this is an athletic cut. This is an extra large. Usually extra large is what I wear. Okay? Now it goes on, but it's tight on me. It really is tight on me. Which, when you're talking about being a third layer in a 4-layer system, you want it to be a little bit tight. But this on me is just a little bit too tight. It's never restricted. It's not restrictive up here, but it is a little tight on me. We have a couple of these, and everybody that wears them, it fits them very, very well. My wife wears one, and I think that it was a large. It fits her great, and everybody and their brother has worn this one, testing it out for us. But it combined with the other 2 layers can keep me very warm down to about 0 degrees. I've done a lot of hiking with this, wood tramping, looking for deer sheds, stuff like that, where I'm active all the time, and I am staying warm. If I start to get too warm, you can see there's a zipper right here that zips on both sides. That's another feature with it. You see the thumb holes. If you're going to put on a 4th layer, which I'll show you here in a minute, those help keep your sleeves from migrating up your arms, which is a real drag. The hood on it is cinchable, and it also has a cinch in the back of the hood to make it form to your head. So this is going to keep you warm. And especially with the other 2 layers, it's got a cinch on the bottom to keep the air from coming up, and as you saw, it also had insulated pockets. You put your hands in here, you're going to keep warm. And of course, the last thing that I really like is that it's foldable. It up into its own little sack there, and you can double as a pillow as well. So let's talk about the fourth layer now. So let's just go over it again. Base layer was expedition weight merino wool. My second layer was a mid-weight merino wool zip-up that I could vent out if I have to. My tertiary layer was the Outdoor Vitals Loftec Jacket. And then the fourth layer is this. You may have seen this here recently. This comes from Lester River Bushcraft. This is his anorak that is made out of a USGI 100% wool blanket. And by far, easily hands down, the best anorak that I've ever seen. No kidding. And I have been wearing anoraks all throughout my life since I was a little kid, made from different items, from different materials. And anoraks are anoraks are anoraks. There are just so many different styles out there because these things have been around for hundreds of years. But this particular guy is one of those that is more than just hype. You know, what Jason does there at Lester River Bushcraft, he has really researched this out. He's thought out his design and everything from the cowl to the hood. You know, it's got a bucket style hood. You know, it doesn't have the middle seam style of hood. It's got a bucket style hood. The front pouch, you know, every anorak has a front pouch just about, but this one has 4 different compartments. One of them is a full zippered compartment that goes from one side to the other. He's got 2 D-rings on the inside of here to be able to hook your keys to it. All right, so now why is it that I like this in the wintertime when it is only 4 degrees below zero out there? It's because that if it is wet, if it is snowing, it's raining, it's still going to keep me warm. It keeps the cold at bay. It keeps the wind from tearing me up. And I can go down to about 20 degrees below zero in this right here, the way I'm sitting, the way that you see me out there on that video, and be comfortable. Now my hands, I wear gloves that are not very heavy at all compared to a lot of people. I like to have the dexterity and the mobility, and if my hands start to get cold, then I'll put them in a pair of mittens, heavy mittens, with the thin gloves that I usually wear. But I hope that answers your question. You know, I mean, this is 4-layer system that's going to keep me warm. I can go out in the woods for extended periods of time. If I wanted to go out and spend a night underneath a tarp with a fire, I could just leave these clothes on with a wool blanket. That's it. You know, have a barrier underneath me, whether it would be a browse bag or I'd build me a quick bushcraft elevated bed, something like that, just to get some distance between me and the ground. And of course I would put leaves and browse underneath that as some sort of insulation. But you know, if you're going to be out and about, you know, this is the way that you want to dress. You want to layer up, but layer up with the correct layers and give yourself a better chance of not only surviving but thriving. Again, it just bears repeating. The number one reason that people die in survival situations is exposure, and it's something that's avoidable. You know, one of the things I do want to make mention of, you know, is that, you know, to have a kit like this that I've got on right now is not cheap. It really isn't. You know, base layer bottoms like this are about $100. The base layer top like this is about $100. The secondary shirt, zip-up shirt that I had on is around $70. The Loftec jacket right now is around $149, and then the Lester River Bushcraft anorak is around $325. Now, you know, that adds up. You know, and for the common guy, that might be a little bit of a big bite to take at one time. Well, I would recommend, buying them one at a time. Saving your money to get there, especially if you're going to want to be outside when it's cold out. It's well worth the money. What is your life worth is what it comes down to. So I hope that helps you out. You can get out and have fun and enjoy the cold, extreme weather. You can still go out and hunt in weather like this. There's a lot of advantages to it. But you have got to be geared up right. You got to keep your body warm. Dressing like this is going to do that. So listen, thank you very much for watching. Hope it helped you out. Thanks for the question, by the way. Until next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.